Good day. Good day. I'm Josie, and I share virtual mediumship and divination services for all of you change makers out there. And one of the seasonal services that I offer is a winter in-depth reading. Most definitely, as many of you might know from coming in for divination services, tarot, that ancestors will always show up. So they definitely bring in much more personalized insight into your season ahead. Uh, but I wished to do a winter at a glance reading, group tarot edition, group tarot edition, uh, online today, just to give all of us a peek into what is upcoming this season for of winter. So, and there's some neat things, definitely, like connecting into a full season. Usually there may be some kind of like progressive insights or preparation to support you prior to the solstice. So whenever you do step in, I'm just getting a message to trust that you are not behind. Trust that you are not behind, and you can be prepared for what is to come. What is to come. Okay. If you are interested in any of the cards decks that I utilized today, you're welcome to check below. I'll list them all with the authors, so you're always able to check them out. In selecting this, we'll be doing groups today. And interestingly enough, I usually would be doing 3 groups, but there is a message to do 4. Oi! Okay, so let's see how I can do all 4. And I'm nudged to work with first in choosing your group, the Kyle Gray Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. Okay, so those are the ones that are really popping through right now. So, dear spirit, I know that that might be an umbrella term for you, but of course, I am asking for the most beloved, the most honored ancestors to step forward to support this, as well as, of course, I, Josie Moniachi at Sinaki, am welcoming for this process online today my team, my most beloved ancestors that support me in my my gifts and my sight. So may they sit with me, may they support me in sharing further insights and conclusions. Interestingly enough, is the word that's coming. Okay, so in this choice of 4 different messages on what is upcoming for winter, the winter season. Ooh, group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Okay. So, the first group, and in choosing your and selecting your groups today, just simply trust what might bring up as I always share, a visceral response. Of course, you're tapping into your body intuition, your body knowing, and even at times what your body knows and your mind hasn't knows yet, right? So allow yourself to have some breath, shake off anything that of before. Let yourself breathe deep into your belly, and then expand that breath right up into your chest. And let's see which one calls to you today. The first one is, interestingly enough, the winter card. I find that kind of neat. I was so enamored by the wolf that I didn't even see that it was that the word literally said winter. So literally group one is winter, and take care of your needs is the initial prompt. Take care of your needs. Group two is the Shaolin Master. Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movements and actions. Be graceful in movements and actions. Group three, your prompt today is Shapeshifter. With the words transform and unveil your gifts. Whew. And group three, Animal Guardian. Trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. Wow. I'm getting already lots of things popping even just from these prompt cards. So if you are receiving some things and uncertain, I'll just show them again. Group one, winter. Group two, Shaolin Master. Group three, Shapeshifter. And group four, Animal Guardian. Let yourself trust your initial connection and know that, of course, you're always welcome to connect to more than one group if you feel that there are further messages waiting for you there. I will just pause now and prepare for group one. See you in a bit. Welcoming group one who selected this card of winter. Take care of your needs. I'm also nudged to draw two more oracle cards from the Pure Magic Oracle deck prior to working with the Tarot de Fuego. Interestingly enough, even though we're getting into the wintry season and many might be experiencing lots of snow, definitely we're looking for some insight today. So, okay, two cards. So the additional prompts that are stepping in are coming from the earth element as well as the air, I believe. Let me just double check. I always get confused which ones are air and water. Water, apologies, water. So earth and water, wow, okay. Whew. Welcoming in those elemental teachers. In the Earth card, number 6, it shares Hecate's Path. Hecate's Path with Cycle of Life, Night Magic, Crossroads, and Letting Go. And then in the Water card, shares Drawing Down the Moon, Divine Feminine, Source, Channel, Stillness. Okay. Ooh. Open into the mystery of this winter season for group one. What gentle forecast at a glance for this general group reading can assist at this time for them? All right. I'm drawing 4 tarot cards. Okay. You're welcome to write down. So they're like draw down. You're welcome to write down the tarot cards received, and trust that with this tool, there is much to further look into within these cards. What I will share will be specific messages that come through and not necessarily have to read every single aspect of these cards, or else we'd be here forever. So, hmm, first card that shows is the Five of Cups. Deep breaths, drink some water, keep hydrated. Things are flowing, things will be flowing again. There is a message that keeps sharing. Things are going to be flowing again. Just because they feel stagnant at this time, things are going to be flowing again, and you don't have to wait for a full other season. This season will bring much up to the surface, as well as, interestingly, I'm getting that will bring much up to fruition for you. This is a promising season forwards, even though there's been much pain, many things that you have had to process to move into this season. There seems to be almost like a sensation of the aches, of the emotional strains and the emotional uncertainties and the blips and the blobs of the chaos being felt in, that there's almost like a lack of trust in your emotional current, like the capacity to process things. I can understand now why they're sharing take care of your needs. What are you feeling you are lacking still? What are you feeling that you are lacking? And what what also may have moved through this current year for you, these past seasons that might still feel left unfinished, that might still feel like they have it hasn't been fully laid to rest, or that it is complete. There are uncertainties, or like there is still a bit of fear within the site, within the perspective, that like things unseen or left unseen are going to all of a sudden like rear their ugly head. There's almost a bit of kind of like not wanting to step forward into this season because you're like, oh gosh, what else is going to show up? What else is going to show up? Mm. But there is many wisdom, many things to chew on, to take in, um, and then wisdom to alchemize from these past experiences that left you emotionally drained, that left you emotionally uncertain, or feeling almost like just like I'm done. I'm just getting this kind of feeling of like, ugh, I'm over it. I'm over all of this like emotional work, all of these things that are just kind of like feeling uncertain in my body. But there is much wisdom within what has the pathways of this year to give yourself some space and time to process them, even in the weeks ahead. Know that there is time. And it's interesting, this was a message that came in for all groups, but like there is time to feel prepared and ready for what is coming forwards for your season. And there is that also something in the water card. Sorry, since I'm just looking, cups definitely bring up water. And there was this additional water message of connection to the moon. There is and like a moment of just going, like, as much as you might feel like you are moving out of sync sometimes with kind of like the planetary, like the larger cycles, the larger movements of things, be it the connection literally to the moon, literally to like the sun, the stars, all of these things. There's like this kind of awareness. I don't know if you're all into like a lot of astrology, or like looking at kind of charts and charting kind of occurrences and timings and things like that. But there is something of going like, can you let some of that like articulation go, and to trust that you are in rhythm, you are in motion, even in the times when it feels like that there is no fluidity, no movement left, and uncertainty in like the movements or the steps forwards, that you are in motion and in connection. And there's something also sharing that the ripeness or like the depth of this connection is really affecting your internal waters, your internal sensations of like mobility, of that I am moving forwards, I'm moving onwards in life, I'm moving into new uncharted waters. And so sorry, this is coming like flowing like the water right now, so apologies, so I'm just riffing. uh And so, can you then allow like the turbulence at times that's or sensed, or like the memories that are held within your waters, the memories that are held within your body, as they surface prior to this season, and even as they surface potentially like post solstice. It's kind of like we put such a specific date back to these like specific dates of like when the winter starts, but they're like clearly you are moving. There's less of like an exact transition into winter. It's like clearly you are in the preparations of winter time. You're clearly in the experience of that, as well as kind of like the last aftermath of fall. So in this kind of transitional time, to almost like I keep just getting, can you still embark in that beautiful vessel that you know of your body, that shares all these connections of water towards the larger movements and manipulations of water on earth? Can you still allow yourself to embark upon this new journey, this journey into uncharted waters? I keep getting like that. Yes, there is a bit of unknown, almost a relinquishing in towards that mystery of what the season may bring. Is there a capacity? They're asking us almost like, is there a capacity to do that? Or do you need to feel like everything is certain by this point? Because there's still going to be a lot of water movement coming into this winter for you. Uh, and in and a lot of different kinds of articulations on how to support this shift in your life cycles, this shift in the chapters of your life, and ask to clarify some things. And this is coming up with the second card of the lots of fives. Sorry, lots of fives and low. This is a Four of Swords. And what an interesting visual in this Four of Swords. Back towards this star charted territory, there is some things that are fated, destined to occur within this winter for you, that have been kind of up in like I'm getting like visually, how you would like share your name and your birth date and get like kind of like that charting of your life experience, that there are things that are actually charted and destined to occur within this winter. But there has been whew, much much shifts in your perspective of connection to those things. There's almost a feeling that also like being cut off from your like a greater vision that you may have had at times that has guided you, kind of like your north star or your guiding light. There were times in your life that it felt very connected, very easeful to kind of like step in and go, what am I envisioning? What am I looking forward to? What am I planning towards? All kind of like those, the mental insights and that work. But there is something that feels currently as if there's like that almost like your mind is boxed in, that it like you're like, okay, I'm hearing these things, that some things are faded, but I can't actually access them. And that's really frustrating. There's something that is shifted in your own like capacity to see at this point of time. And I'm feeling just quite a bit of frustration around that. So there's almost like a welcoming. It's weird, like of guides and guardians welcoming you back to step in and go. Even though things have felt a little convoluted, there was certain things that had to be moved through that were almost going to like rile up the dust, like make a little flurry, make a little uncertainty at first, and now there's slowly within that process you're getting very close to a process of that dust starting to settle, from that riling up, from that shift. And there will be like almost like an ask for you to step in with like a new and refreshed way of accessing insight on what you wish. And I'm curious about this kind of new way that is being shared with this Knave of Cups. Knave of Cups, and oops, sorry, YouTube doesn't like things that look rosy that are on people's chests. So I'm just going to, again, let's see. Yes, there we go. Hmm. Do you see a similar cup, similar like carriage of wisdom? Lots of water in there, right? Lots of things, but instead of like trying to like sort it out or sift through that big pool and depth of experience, emotions there's this like wondrous thing like of seeing this person just like bathing in that, resting in that. Winter is asking for some good rest for you, most definitely. And as those things start to settle within the mind from the previous processes that have been asked to again be let go, to be almost like, and this letting go, sorry, they want me it's not just about like let go, release. There is something about that in that letting go, you're kind of like relinquishing the control that that thing had on you, relinquishing and almost like releasing its hold on you. Yeah, there's something of how those things that are being prompted and asked for you to like finally release, it's like relinquish its hold on you. And in that relinquishing, then you can just simply like there's some like just rest and actually ease into this like resettling of things. I again see that kind of like the dust or the snow, right? The flurries of like that they're starting to settle here in a beautiful way that you can actually start to explore all the things, dreams and visions of things that you can grow, that you can develop in your life, that potentially maybe you didn't have or feel like you had the right to do them prior. This is an interesting thing that's coming up of like the actual not just even like the capacity to do them, but like that you felt like you were not worthy of doing these things. And that there was almost like that you had to, there was stain, like I'm just keep on getting like there are stains on your hands from previous wrongdoings or like ways of being that you just like kept looking at and feeling guilty or uncertain about how to, like, how can I do this, how can I proceed forwards with I need to, like, there was an ass almost like retribution, like some things, like I need to like better myself in some way. And it's like, can you allow like for you to just like know that those things are might be a part of you still for a little bit, but just to like know that those hands like you can hold on to this process. There's something about like being firm in the process of just letting yourself kind of sit in the depths of it, and but in a restful state. So I'm kind of getting like the obvious would be like a bath, but clearly even just like letting yourself have naps, letting yourself know that like you don't have to do all the dreaming in a very active way, that actually by kind of allowing yourself just to go like I trust myself and enough. Do I trust myself enough that I can simply now just allow some breaths? I can allow some ease. I can steady myself. There's been a lot of flurry prior to, so there's almost an ask to steady yourself, which will feel um, a bit slower moving and a bit more of a restful period, but that there will be much that will, like, again, I keep getting that much will come to fruition. Much will be fruitful of this process for you. It's a different way of moving through, like, kind of like those plans and visions and things which we think are very active. This is like going, no, 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 no. Like, the mind is adjusting, the body and the emotions and the heart are readjusting right now. It's like, so allow those readjustments to kind of like really acclimate and settle into the body and into your personal experience, so that you can then just see, how can I like, how can I receive in a different way, with less effort, with less kind of focus, with less like doing all the charts and watching all like the dates that are coming up and going there was like a way of actually even like seeing how to move through the things that came up, that is being asked to be observed, and go like, how, and I'm getting back to this like taking care of your needs card, of just like, how can you take, like, you will take care of your needs, things will come to fruition. They just, sorry, keep on up in this glance, I have to share that things will come to fruition for you this winter. This winter is going to be a productive one, but it's asking you to also take care of those needs that aren't linked to productivity, those needs of yours that simply are just asking you to rest, to lay fallow at times, to sit in the soup, to sit in the things, and to almost like relinquish, back to that, relinquishing the control of needing to have everything charted out to a T. There is also like kind of just like a little affirmation here, that there is great support, great grounded support as we connected to, the water energy. I'm also receiving like you have great ancients that are supporting this process. So share some love with them. Share uh, some of the things that feel too big for you to hold and to carry alone. Share them with them. Share them with them. Give them to process it, or not even to process, but to support. And in almost like giving those big things, those quandaries, those things that you've been ruminating about towards those ancients, then you can kind of like just go, it's going to be a practice of trust, a practice of belief in re-establishing belief and in yourself, in the capacity of your fortitude and your strength to carry forwards in a bit of a new way for you. Mm. Yes, your connection to all that might seem like magic, uh, like the unseen, the goddesses, all of these wondrous advisors that you enjoy connecting to, of the stars and like these larger beings. Uh, there's something in that that is arising, because it's like in this card they're going, well, share with those big beings and give them your requests, and then from there, to go like, how then can I process on just allowing my body to be open in receiving the insight when it comes, the prompts. It's almost as if like it's like I'm getting this kind of idea of like like you're like, okay, I don't know the answer to this, so I'm going to share it out to all that I am connected with. I'm going to give them that, and I'm then going to go take a bath. And I'm going to then just go, okay, I don't need to figure this out today. I've shared it. I've shared it outwards. So I don't need to figure it out by myself. So now what am I going to do with my day? I'm going to just like make myself something really nurturing, ensure my belly is cared for, ensure my body feels like well. There's a focus on caring for the well-being, your health, and just like those really simplified needs. And then from there, you will like it's like you'll just kind of like after a nap wake up and there will be like a clear word in your mind, or after kind of like stepping away and just like resting and nurturing your body, you'll get like these prompts will just come. And those prompts, look at this, as I said, fruition is coming. The 9 of Cups, the showering of wishes fulfilled, the showering of this is obviously the wish fulfillment card. And this is not like a, oh, they're like, get prepared for many. Sometimes when people get this card, they're expecting like one wish to be granted, and then when that wish gets granted, they're like, oh, it was that one, but I also wished for these and these and these and these. They're like, the beauty then of that rest is you can really start to clarify your wishes forwards. And in clarifying those wishes forwards and being in a more easeful and like allowing state of being, and it might be a practice at first. It might not come super easily right away, right there. It might be like feeling like you're having to like lessen potentially how you do things. What was your regular kind of role in these rituals and ways of like manifesting things and bringing things to fruition in your life? And it's like, release the reins, rest, still share them, and allow them to be articulated, for they're going to come swiftly, almost like a beautiful, like a steady flow of things showering you with the things that you wish to come into fruition. There's going to be lots of good movements this season for you. Wow. I like, it's almost like I hope this is my group, because I'm like, who everyone wants to have some benefit, a beneficial season ahead, specifically when we feel it is just about going inwards. This is also kind of going like, from this process of going inwards in a way that really cares for needs, health first and foremost, well-being of your emotional and mental landscapes, easing the difficulties within those two areas of your body, so that then you can discover how swiftly some things can actually come once you allow more allowance around them, once you allow. There is something also, this is a darker time of year for many in the Northern Hemisphere. The days, like I know I have lots of light behind me, but the days are shorter. And there's something about those rhythms to like go like, okay, so the day you can still go and do the things you need to do, but give yourself that like, there's something almost like do you see how the days shortened, so there's more time at night? They're like, so allow that nighttime to, instead of be like, what the hell am I going to do, I'm going into like every single night as a dark night, I'm going into every single night of a dark as a dark night. It's like, no. What what night is there to for rest? Night is there for tender care and tender, I keep getting this tenderness to the night, to almost like let yourself see how can you reconnect, in an amorous and loving way to what the night brings, and that will to help pace you through these until the light starts to return for solstice and onwards. To just be like really gentle with self. Let those nights be like, as soon as it gets dark and maybe you're feeling like, oh, I'm all alone, or all those things come up, all the shadows, to be like really to like just go, how can I care for myself like how I would care for a child at night, right? Like when they have fears or uncertainties in the dark. So back to this, and I understand like taking care of your needs. This is like tending to fears, tending to the fluctuations of the mind, the uncertain aches of emotions left unprocessed, and that's the gentle work to sort through amongst your days, and to do it with love, for yourself. You are caring for your own well-being. There's something so powerful in that. You are there to nurture and tend to yourself as you would the most beloved friend, your most beloved friend. Mm. And let those wishes be whispered and spoken into the air, into the waters, into the rhythms of your doing. I'm seeing like when you're making a tea or so, right? Like in the tinkle of the stir of the herbs in the water, like whisper that in. Share your wishes, share and discover how they shift, discover how are spoken differently throughout this process. There's something almost sing-song with this process, that let yourself like be enjoy speaking some things out loud, and hearing how they like reverberate within your body, within your mind, within your heart, so that you can feel kind of like the affirmation that yes, this is really, really what I desire. This is really what I wish for. And last little message, of course, is there's like this big closing. This winter season is like, and it's almost like the winter ends the one year and begins another, right? There's an ending and beginning that we've all agreed upon in the Gregorian calendar within a winter season. And so it's like honoring that there's going to be almost like not necessarily, and back to like those like light switch moments of time. It's like, it's again not going to feel exact, that you're like, okay, I'm done my year by December 31st and now I'm starting my new chapter January 1st. It's not going to be exactly like that. So let go of some of those dates, because you can actually do this beforehand. There's something about like allowing yourself to work with the rhythm of the season instead of the Gregorian calendar a bit, to loosen the reins of those dates, back to loosening the reins of the dates, and allow what is being completed to honor those completions, relinquishing its control on you, and then to kind of open to what else do I wish. There's some things that still need to be explored. There's still some wishes that have been left unsaid. Okay, so also just an ancestral message of they're willing to support you in this medicine. They're willing to assist you in very natural kind of ways, be it with herbs, be it with water cleanses, be it with giving you like the medicine teachings of your ancestors that are simply working with the elements, your bodies, like simplifying some of these processes that are done before. It doesn't have to be done in such a depth of intensity from other cycles and seasons. Okay. Checking to see if there are further messages for group one. Pace, pace, pace. There's something of that in the knowing of charted water, like charted things in the stars, that like this feeling of urgency at times that you kind of put like that it's really important before this date, or it's really important on this date to do certain things. Just again, there's a good request this season to see how can you start to live a little bit without that added freak out, that added extra effort and pressure on yourself. And how can you allow a gentler pace while still instilling a trust that by you caring for your well-being and nurturing self and slowing a bit down, how can you then still trust that things will arise? This is a big almost depth into like the moving beyond some of like the go of our culture and in general, and going right, my ancestors, my body, all of these things are just going tend, care, and be gentler in the paces of things. There is no pressure in time. Things will arise when you least expect. Deep gratitude for this connection to group one. If this has stoked a fire this winter at a glance and you wish to connect for some seasonal services, you can check out my website, JosIH, that's JOSIH.com. And I share virtual mediumship and divination connections at your leisure, easily booked, as well as lots of love, lots of love. Lots of love amidst the truth. So I'm feeling the squeezes from the ancestors right now. So if we do connect for more winter in depth, I look forward to meeting you and your ancestors. If this served you today, may you take what you may from this message that brought up some good stuff to process, and you can leave the rest and trust that someone else may gather it. Take care. Thank you. Ciao, ciao. Hello, group two. Group two, welcoming you. Nudge to bring out my big river rock, my little my hagstone for this group. Woo, you have chosen Shaolin Master. And I am nudged to also draw 2 cards today from the Pure Magic Oracle. And then we'll be working with the Tarot del Fuego for the read of your winter at a glance for group 2. What else can be shared for group 2 to support insight and preparations for the season ahead? Okay, I gotta share. I'm like, even before I open any of the cards, there is something about that cricket that is popping. So I look forward to, or cricket or grasshopper. Is it a praying mantis? this insect. There's something about as gentle, like as gentle as an insect, but knowing that also like that insects have been around for millions and millions and millions of years. They have survived so many things, but they are the tiniest things as well. There's something about that. So I look forward to seeing further what arises. But I had to kind of just share that right now. And ooh, interesting, interesting. So for this group, both cards have come in the Pure Magic Oracle. They share from the 4 different elements, and we are definitely drawing in earth energy this winter season for group 2, with 2 wondrous prompts from the earth element: hidden familiars. Interesting. And they're going a cricket, a grasshopper, an insect. But yes, there is something of your connection, some hidden familiars coming through: allies, natural assistance, divine support, comfort. Whew. And also ancient amulets, fortune protection skills, as well as possessions. Okay, so these are the 3 oracle cards that are coming to support this tarot. And I will be drawing 4 cards from the tarot to support the Winter at a Glance reading for group 2. I'm asking for group 2, what does those most beloved spirit wish to share to support your preparations as you move into winter, the winter season ahead? All right, all right, all right. I'm feeling some uncertainty, even in selecting the cards. Ooh, there's like, what else is coming my way? What else is coming my way? Okay. And even in seeing how these cards are placed, I know there's going to be some reversals as well as some that are upright. So, okay. Whoa. Whoa, I love these cards. As a seer and medium, I see so much from the artwork of these cards. Deep gratitude to the illustrator. Okay, so Knave of Wands is the first one that arises. And this one was actually reversed. Okay, but I'm just going to show the artwork to this one upright. Knave of Wands. Oh boy. Okay. Queen of Wands. Upright. Queen of Cups. This was also reversed. And we close with a major arcana, the Star. And of course, YouTube may like me just to cover. Wow. Okay. Big breaths. There's almost like an ask. Is the arduousness of my journey over? You've been so proactive and like sifting through a lot in you in the seasons past, sifting through many things to kind of like and in this sifting process and stepping into the mystery, stepping into some of the things that might have been left unsaid, unseen, hidden from sight. That you have done this process. There's something of like acknowledging that you have done this process. And there's almost a feeling like, will I continue to do this process? Will I continue to just continue to traverse and to traipse through all my shadows and the dregs and the shadows and the shadows and the dregs and mystery, unknown shit. Like it's just, I can feel there's just like, I've been doing this, I'm doing this, I'm ready, I'm going. And how interesting that this is what I'm picking up from, like, what the fires and the things that are within you while we are getting a going. Gentle. We're entering a gentler time, entering a gentler season, a more softer season of that, where all of those things that you have dragged up and pulled out from those crevasses and areas and cracks within, that you have excavated and worked on with such tenacity, and fortitude and strength, that there's something about going, now can you kind of like step out of that? Can you pull yourself out from those rhythms of prior, those depths of prior? Can you slowly find yourself to crawl out of that cave of deep inner awareness and take a moment to celebrate the knowing that you carry now? The knowing that you carry now, the depth of support that you naturally can access. You've done some good work. Woo! You have done some good work, ancestral work, intergenerational patterns shit, all of that stuff. The depths of looking into your family tree, the depths of looking into your ancestry, uplifting and opening into like the ghosts from, I'm almost like the ghost from Christmases past, the ghost from like actions past within your own lineage. And you have accessed also the potential, like there's something like, can you take a moment to acknowledge the work you've done on your family tree, the work that you have done for your family for generations forwards, that you have supported? Oh my goodness, there's like such a, even in this message, it's so different than group one. It's like, it's so pronounced, like, as you can see, like how I'm sharing it, there's just such a pronouncement of just going like, can you acknowledge the depths you have explored in your history, in those places that you were at one point? Do you remember that you were at one point afraid to go? At one point, you were afraid to delve into those depths. Do you remember that? And now look at what you have excavated. Now look at what you have pulled up from these places hidden and or stuck or pushed to the side. And you have done some really good work that will be felt, that like there's almost a feeling of the shift from generations past. Those have walked before you are going like, good job, well done. And what you have opened for your path line, they're sharing almost like the timeline forwards, the path to walk forwards. Can you, like, there's a moment of recognition, and honoring the wisdom that you have gained. And in that wisdom gained, in that wisdom gained, there is almost a yearning then for you to feel complete, full. like full and complete in life. Like I've done this work. I should feel accomplished and joyous, and full, like full of all the goods, the good juice, and the knowings and the understandings of my ancestors. And there's something that they're still feeling like incomplete in that process. But even that, they're sharing, like even that awareness of your internal emotional landscape is a depth that potentially you haven't experienced before, or not explored fully. Sorry, I need to say it, like you've experienced it, but you haven't fully explored it before. For it is almost kind of just always brought in. There's this desire to feel content and complete in a process, and that you're like, I won't have to experience that depth before. I won't have to go into that depth before. I know enough. I know enough now, and now I just wish for this, like all of this understanding and this depth of things that you've had to explore and experience, to almost like now just like share their gifts with you, to share, like you're like, I did the deep work, now I want the wisdom, I want the gifts, I want the blessings. I'm craving that. I know that it's so close. You can feel it. You can feel that it's close. You can feel that something is blossoming and blooming where there may have been fallow or like untouched ground or uncharted places, but yeah, whew. And so there is a yearning for this journey almost to be complete. And in this, though, uh, okay, woo, there's coming up a kind of some discontent in the process of this winter, because this process of this winter is not that you're going to have to necessarily revisit or review the things that you have already processed or feel like you've like laid to bed, um, but there's almost like some still reflection and contemplation process that is being asked for. And I'm comprehending why. Okay, sorry. There's such depth of feeling in this group, so I'm might now be slowing a bit down within this, but you have done much. You have done much to protect yourself forwards. The intention is clear. Your intention is clear. There's something of acknowledging what is imprinted in you, like I'm keep on seeing like almost like the tattoos or like designs that are surfacing in the skin from these processes. Like more of your story will surface, more of your wisdom will surface, but it is now going to be a softer, more languid, I keep getting the word languid experience. That and in this experience, there's going to have to be an innate installation of trust that you are that big things, protection is there, and that sometimes you might not even like good protection. It's neat. There's like this message of going, good protection you don't even see, you don't even know is there, because you are being actually protected from things. Like there is actually a prevention from more things occurring. And so it's like, just because you might not see some of the things you're protected from or the harm that you are protected from in this process, can you trust that they are there? That those amulets, that those things that you may have had to wear to remind yourself of that ancestral protection and the guardianship of your and care for your it's neat for your astuteness, for your sharpness, for your well-being in mind as well as in body, that they are now like literally imprinted. That you're not going to lose that amulet. You're not going to lose this protection. It's there. It's there. And be now pay attention to what flows in messages in the most like not uncertain ways, but like unexpected ways. That now there will be wisdom and messages being shared by familiars you may not have experienced or connected to before. There's the tried, tested, and true ones. Some of you have pets. Some of you have deep connections to the animals in your actual surroundings, like where you live, the ones that you see on a regular basis. And there's going to be ones now that are going to step on your path that will surprise you, like that cricket, right? Like something unexpected, something that might not be normally presented in the past for you. Many of you have had strong messages from certain animal familiars or guides, like the greater spirits of animals from that we connect to. But there is something about now get prepared for some of the unexpected. And when we are preparing for the unexpected, there we must trust that we have enough. There's something about a gravitas with that, like the weight of trust. The weight of trust that you have enough wisdom, you have enough ability to access the guidance, as well as the things that feel incomplete emotionally at this point in time, the things that feel still like a little not as full and whole and fabulous as you wish for, are going to now, in this kind of deep contemplative season for you, slowly flow and release. Slowly flow and release. Yes, yes. For this group 3, this winter, it's not even about pacing. This is just like like I'm not getting like slow down necessarily. I know that it's just neat because they're sharing you got like slow down the mind and like all those processes that came through in the beginning. But this is a like back to grace, this grace and movement of how can you like trust that the flows and the fluxes that may be experienced in this season both carry grace, both carry support, both carry support for the road ahead. I'm getting that the movements of winter for you will feel very like this water. No wonder you're being asked to really call upon earth to nurture this process, because or else you would be like upswept in the current. The current of flow in your life is it will be quite strong in the winter, moving things forward, pushing you into places, not necessarily pushing, but like flowing you. It's just that the current is flowing you forwards. But it's like in that flow, how can then you be again this like languid? I don't even know that word. I think it's like coming up to as I know the word languish, but I'm here. I'm going to even take a look because it keeps coming, and I'm trying to explain it to you all. Let's see, languid. Ah, okay, it is a word. Faint, listless, and sluggish from weakness, fatigue, or want of energy. Be weak, be fatigued, be faint, be listless, be slack, be languid. Okay, so that those are some word comparisons. Yeah, there's something about like the depth of the work that is done before this season, this deep, I keep getting like this deep excavation of your internal terrain, um, Now you must just like, now can you just um there will be a good ask to surrender, to almost let yourself feel languid, like be a bit weaker than maybe you felt, or be a bit gentler, be a bit like subtler, going into the subtle trust that you do now not need to do deep forceful work. It's now about continuing to trust that you are protected in this process and in the flow and the current of events this winter season, and that in this deep kind of slower flow of process, that both things, both ups and downs, are carrying good medicine, and not even, sorry, they're like giving me a big squeeze, good protection, good care to assist you in navigating like where you end up from this. It almost feels like the winter is like this kind of like long sea journey for you, and that there will be, and like, there is going to be a destination, but that destination is a little left unsaid, again, things left unsaid. And it's not that that information is going to come, it's more so like, can you go on that sea ride and trust that there will be familiars, there will be messages and helpers that come in this process to support, some of you are interestingly kind of like, I'm getting with this idea of fortune, and my dog's even kind of punctuating this, that there is a want for like the fortune of your life, or like the wellness or the well-being of your life, all like to come right now up into fruition, to show itself. And they're like, there will be like I'm getting almost like that wheel of fortune type of vibe from this, that there will be enough assistance to support you, but this is a different pace, a different way of moving through a season, with a lot more surrender, a lot more just like, I am surrendering the control, or like the ways that I feel like I need to mastermind the outcomes, and to not even have to feel, I'm kind of getting like you're on this boat and you're not even having to fish through the water to try to find the good fortunes. You're not going to have to search for them if you allow yourself to move with grace in the pace of the rhythms of your life and activities this season. There will be, it's like they will show up when not least expected, but they will show up in a very profound way, in a way that there is no way that you can not see them. So can you trust in that? Things will show up in very obvious ways for you. But now it is just being asked, yeah, big ask for surrendering to this process, and opening to the gentle whispers of guides and assistance that will come from nature, from literally like just your walk and movement. And I'm nudged to also share within that of these hidden familiars, as my dog is punctuating this, is that they don't think that they're all these familiars, these allies are just animal. Some of them will be human, as well as some will be a little bit magical. So like all different realms interacting with humans, connecting on, you know what I mean, to the nature world around you, as well as connecting to the ethers, and like the world that is like the depths. I'm almost getting like the depths of layers of the realms of the earth, really enjoying that process. Yes. And that is something, there will be so much up in the ethers in this winter period for you, that you'll feel sometimes like you wish to, you're like, I'm not the star, I'm grasping at stars. It's like you're like, I'm not this star, I'm grasping at stars. I'm looking for answers. I'm looking for things to assist me because I'm just feeling a little like drained from this process and weaker during this winter period. I need that guidance. And they're like, look into you and just go, hey, if this is a weaker and gentler process and season for you, um, to then trust though that you can allow some of those things that are coming out that might feel like they're draining you to release. This is a lot of release work. A lot of release work is coming up this winter for you too. And this is like emotional, just like um, things that are just still making you feel uncertain or like shifted around or lacking or weak. All of that stuff is coming up, but there is great support. There is great support from the earth and the rhythm of the elements to support this process. You have done much work in your ancestry, so you can call upon that support. And very much it's like going, like, as much as you might want to grasp out and reach out towards the ethers, I keep getting, yeah, like the rhythms and the layers of the earth, the depths of assistance that are underneath you. And almost, ooh, I'm getting this like really cool like practice of like when you like each day almost like you step in and you just like connect to the wealth, the fortune, the riches, the care, the wealth of wisdom that is accessible below you, of those buried, of those things, ancestors buried. I'm not saying more things to like excavate, but more so of like trusting that what is excavated and what is now resting below the surface of the snow in this winter season for you is what can support you. Gentle whispers, gentle connections, very subtle, less extravagant and charismatic than before. I feel like there was a lot of intensity in some of the journey that was done prior. So let yourself like process some of these feelings, as I shared, of this languid sensation within you, and maybe that languid sensation this winter you can surrender to and trust a bit more, so that you can then allow your winter to more so languish, like be a bit more okay. This is just the pace of this season for me. I know that I can do this, and I know that seasons, there's a beginning and an end, and I keep getting that too. There's a beginning and end to every season. So if this season's going to be a bit subtler and softer and bring up some of the things that I still need to sift and contemplate through, how can I do this in the gentlest and softest way with myself, while honoring the wisdom that you possess, honoring the wisdom and the know-how that you possess from the travels and experiences done prior. All right. Group 2. Further message for Group 2 at all? There is something about rest that naturally feels successful accomplishment, right? Like we rest after job well done. And so there will be coming up at times in your rest this kind of yearning of going, well, why do I deserve to rest? There are more things to be done. And that will be a bit of the sifting and contemplative work within this season, is that how can you allow yourself that almost like gift of rest and gentler pace for this season up ahead, while acknowledging, like you might need to really like the effort would be in acknowledging the job well done thus far, the successes accessed thus far. I'm actually For other groups, like, of course, if you want to get a deeper winter in-depth reading, you're welcome to book with me online. But I'm getting also, even for group 2, a year in review. It might be a good service to assist, is actually to like really like itemize and review what has been done prior, so that you can really like have those at your fingertips and have those at the ready to remind yourself that I do deserve this pause and this more reflective time. And it does not mean that um yeah, like anything else, but gentler pace, so that you can then really kind of like affirm and celebrate some of your successes, some of the things achieved, as well as feeling that most of the time when you rested, it was just like maybe out of exhaustion from the depths that you've done. But now this is like you can rest with still an awareness, with still yes, this awareness that there this awareness is going to be difficult. I keep getting, there's this visual on this star card of a cup on their chest that is upside down. Okay. And as you see, they're pouring out water through their like fish arms, but there's still this cup that's just poured upside down. And remembering that the Queen of Cups also came reversed. So there is some emotional processing that can be done within this season. And I'm nudged to actually, just because this is such a deep message, like meaning like winter's going to be slow, winter's going to be like emotionally processing while still trusting that you have all this strength. I'm going to pull a 5th card just to see what can be shared from this process. Okay. Yeah, there we just we're stepping out of a hermit year, right? Number 9, and back to this awareness. They're like, no, you need to complete this. You need to complete this process first, and honor that you're not behind. The contemplation asked for in this winter will serve you forwards to feel like you are really growing a loving and stable home within yourself, a place where you can reside, and that can almost like feel like that it is nurturing and grounding for self, without it having to aspire towards maybe some of like the old dreams, or like empirical, like I'm almost feeling like the things of like that might have been more egoic and more from like almost a pretend strength. You know what I mean? Because we know ego, like they'll share like, oh yeah, I'm strong and I'm this, but it's more out of protection. And but they're sharing, but you are protected, so you don't have to then like do that again and again. Trust your protection, so that the things that you are growing and building in this kind of gentler or more languid season for you, trust that they are going to not be built and established from a place of ego, but from all that great work, all those successes done, as well as then these last drugs of months, to allow all that needs to continue to flow, to move. And then and as you then kind of like process and practice that surrender, to know that there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. There will be an awareness. There will be an awareness that will come, almost that will just be feeling like a saving grace, or a saving light to keep you moving on words, even with such chaos and stuff around us right now. There's something also of just like the chaos in the world, in the globe, and how it is affecting you. So take your pace with this. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. This has been a very momentous year for you all. Very momentous year. Lots to process. Lots to process in this review, but really acknowledge the wisdom you carry. Really acknowledge the job well done. Mm-hmm. Deep gratitude to you who chose group number 2. Thank you for connecting. You're welcome to connect with me if you wish for further in-depth sessions that are more personalized on my website, josih.com. That is JOSIH.com. And from that, of course, this is a general reading, so take what you may, and may you leave the rest and trust that someone else may pick it up. Okay, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, thank you. Thank you, group 3. Welcoming you. And those that chose Shapeshifter as the prompt. Already from this card, I am get prepared for some synchronicities and circumstantial evidence to occur in the timing of things forwards. Get prepared. Coming in strong. Group 3. I am going to pull 2 additional cards from the Pure Magic Oracle deck to support this, and then 4 cards from the Tarot del Fuego. What can assist Group 3 for the winter season ahead? Woo! Okay, sorry, I'm like riding these waves. Welcome you. Ooh, okay. Now I comprehend why I'm feeling so much. For some of you, got some skills in connection and connecting to the mind, and ooh, yes, you got some gifts. Transform and unveil your gifts. Yes. Coming up first with the air card of telekinesis. Wow. And the prompts of influence, willpower, control, obstacles. And then a fire card. Air and fire. I'm just blown mind how different and unique each of these group readings are, and which elements are stepping in to support each group. So for this group, air and fire, 22, drawing down the sun. Wow. Wildfire, divine masculine, magnificence, witness. Already from this, there are many messages. Some of you may wish to pause this video and to simply sit first with these 3 cards. Okay? With these 3 cards. And just to jot down what comes within the mind, what comes within the heart to share. Okay, there are certain words, there are certain messages literally just right here, waiting for you to run rampant with them, to write them down, to articulate them. And for those, once you're ready to proceed with this message, winter 4, group 3. Okay. 8 of Cups first comes. And interestingly, it showed up reversed. 8 of Cups. They're sharing, continue to jot down things in this message. Jot down keywords that arise. Let this be an intuitive process for you. You will receive further messages. You will receive further messages that way to add to like it's almost like you will be filling in the blanks between the messages that I share. I just keep getting that. It's like just keep work with this message. Also tap into your intuition during this process. The Wheel of Fortune. Hmm. Hmm. Receiving a lot already. Whew. Four of Swords. And Six of Cups. Okay. You are innately connected. Innately, genuinely, intrinsically, inherently connected. You have gifts that you may have been traversing and moving through the shadows around those gifts. The doubts, the uncertainties of how these gifts can serve you, how these gifts can care for you. For all you have seen, all you have witnessed is how these gifts have made difficulty at times. But there is transformation within your gifts. There will be almost an unfurling of those packages that you carry, an unfurling and an opening. It's almost like those box openings that we see on Instagram. I'm receiving. It's like that there will be in this winter time and period for you multiple unboxings of gifts, and you wish for them, you desire for them to come all at once. But they're like, guess what? Some people have done that. Some people have allowed everything to come all at once to for and it did not, it was detrimental to them. It was detrimental. I'm also getting like for health, like well-being in mind, like leading almost even to psychosis, leading almost to an inability to process because it was too much information for the mind to process. And that may have come even in the past at times when you have tried to open to your gifts with such fortitude and magnitude or asked for them to swiftly come. And so, can you allow this process of a winter period, of an entire season, that can support you and unboxing and continuing to open those gifts parcel by parcel, part and parcel, a little at a time. And to trust that in doing that, that will then allow you to not just feel like you are flowing in the wheel in the cycle of life, but you are also supporting the turn, that you are also supporting the turn of events. It's not that you're masterminding it. You're not the only one holding the wheel. Okay. And going, ah ha ha, I'm doing these movements and they're all mine. There's something about like this, that you almost wanted to relinquish that control or that manipulation around things that you may have seen in people utilizing their gifts for not the best ways in prior. There's some fear around that has kind of allowed you to just then like be like, well, I'm just going to then let them be, and maybe things will come to me and maybe things won't. I will just flow. But there is something about now it is time to actually like to participate in the timing of things, to almost like trust that it is your actions in congruence and in relation to all the assistance, all the helping that can occur with these solar cycles. And this is very neat because for some of the other groups, there was talk of lunar cycles, but this is definitely bringing up about solar cycles. Like I even shared in that initial in the initial one, there are actually it's like this is like night and day to some of the other readings. So apologies. I'm just like so always overblown. Like, it blows my mind of how different groups readings can be. So cool. But that this is like going, there is solar timing. There are going to be certain dates and certain like moments in time that will just be like, okay, this was the time that this is supposed to open. Okay, this is the time that this is supposed to open. Okay, this is the time that this is supposed to open. And then in between those times, there's going to be like, well, am I ready for the next one? When's the next one going to come? And like, you're almost like, I get like, like this, like, the catcher, like ready. It's like, when is it coming? I'm here. I'm ready. Like, where's the UPS package? Are you going to throw it my way this way? I'm here. I'm ready to access it. And there's like, no. Just accept that there will be time. There will be times of that unboxing and unfurling and unpackaging further and further of your gifts. But in the time between that, in the times between that, there will be major shifts in perspective to acclimate to, major shifts in how you see things. And again, I'm getting this is very much like gifts of the mind, psychic, your clairs, like clairsentience is coming up strongly with this. Like, again, with hearing words, writing them down, and and there's almost then this desire or this shadow that is being processed of manipulating events, of how then those gifts might feel like you're masterminding or changing the outcome of things or changing fated things. And it's like, no. You're just you can tap into the things that are destined, but there is something of divine timing that is going to be really wondrous for you, because then you can kind of relinquish some of that feeling that you are masterminding or in control of it all. And there will be something very freeing and liberating for you in that process of this kind of like this trust that things will continue to come, and trust that awareness will continue to come, trust that further depths of and successes will continue to come. And in that trust, then you can just know that each like step and action that is being done within this winter season, you're just learning how to support that timing, support that flow of things, in a way that is more in congruence, more in connection to nature, like the natural world, like the natural rhythms of things and it will almost make you feel at times, I'm just another cog in the wheel. I'm just another person that is trying to like change outcomes. I keep getting this, like to change what you feel is like these dreaded outcomes that you might see or you might have even connected to in some of your sites that brought up a lot of fear, that have brought up a lot of uncertainty and kind of like, I don't know if I really trust these gifts. These gifts are not showing me really great things. Gifts should be showing me great things, shouldn't they? But they're showing me like the caca, the things like out of the control, and the way events start to arise from multiple people trying to spin that wheel and to make things occur for them. So there's something about like shifting your comprehension around manifestation, shifting your comprehension around how you can support creation without like doing it in a way that feels icky. And that this is a time that is going to be quite incubatory in nature for you. This winter will be, it will feel slow. It will feel very slow at times, which is going to be bringing up then a lot of doubts and decisions and like play in your mind. And so there is something about be very aware of and almost like checking in to be like, is my mind supporting me, or is it working right now against me? And almost like you are that is the one thing that you can carry the reins for, is how to navigate what comes within the mental landscapes. And for there will be kind of some uncertainty in this period for actually like what you are really wishing for, hoping for, willing to occur, outside of this like moving through the shadow of, again, manipulation, masterminding, control, ownership. All of that stuff is arising for you this season. But to how can you, there's like, the sun is still, the sun still rises and the sun still sets. There's going to be some guarantee. There's going to be some guarantee in things. A day is 24 hours. A week is this amount of time. There's like, look at the things that are guaranteed in a season, or and assured, and to know that like now you're going to have to be aware of the things between, and how you move through those days. They're naturally in this kind of incubation period for you. There is, I understand why they're saying the shape shifting. This is a very transformative season for you all, in almost like revealing, unleashing a more determined, heart-centered existence that is allowing the heart to move and guide the way, and to trust then the more so the things then that come into the mind, and to be able to decipher through what might be a veiled illusion and what might be certainty. And so in order to do that in the sifting process, know that sometimes this winter will come up like a muddy soup of you kind of like wallowing in the wait period, uh, deciphering what patience feels to you, like what that comes up in you. So definitely, it's kind of neat because this was sharing a lot of gifts. You have a lot of gifts, but interestingly, there's going to be it will be a bit of a shadow period of a winter for you. But it's like these shadows are bringing up like those last things, those last important things to address, so that you can really practice at, like, it's like they're just sharing like those multiple unboxings, those multiple moments of aha that are going to occur even in this kind of more focus on some of those last shadows. So it's like I just kind of get like this aha moment, and then it's like drags into the shadows for a bit, the unknowing, the abyss, and then aha again, and then drags into the unknowing, the shadows, the abyss, aha. And so over time in that like pattern, there will be there will be a bit more capacity and compassion around what you share with self, to be like, I know that there will be an other aha. There will start to be like a realization that, this is just because at times there's uncertainty or not sight or not action or not something, that doesn't mean that that's the end. It's just that is giving me a time and a pace to process and to get stronger in this process. So start to see, they're like, even by February, they're like, you'll start to see these patterns very clearly and comprehend a bit more of this. But these 4 months, and it's neat because I know there's technically 3 months in a season, but we're looking like December, January, February, March, because we know, equinox comes and it's at the very end of March. So like, there is a fullness of awareness, like back with the 4 of Swords, back with this awareness that there are going to be 4 months of this, 4 months of this kind of like aha moments, revelatory awarenesses, and then back into like the sifting and processing of what to do between those aha moments, so then you're not chasing the awarenesses all the time anymore, and striving towards those things or struggling towards those things in between, by going, right, this is just a natural pace of life, is to have moments of certainty, moments of uncertainty, moments of clarity and a lot of insight, and then moments of a little bit more murkiness. And that is just how the days go. That is just how the cycle and the path goes. And that It's a much gentler path. How grateful am I to be in sync? How grateful am I to be in sync with this pace? Because if I got it all at once, then I would be potentially stuck in a much longer patience process. They're like, if you got all of the stuff unboxed, then all the other, like the 4 months would be just siphoning and sifting through all that shit. And so it's like this way, it's like you're getting like little treats throughout this process so that you can continue to persevere and carry on. Hmm. Anything else to share with group three? This was a very clear message for this group two, very direct and specific. So to also understand, though, this is a general reading, so it might be tapping into like much like more left unsaid. So if you are nudged to for a winter in-depth connection, you're welcome to connect. But they're almost sharing. They're like, okay, as you give josich.com, you can check on my website, josih.com. In connecting to a service, they're like, actually, you might want to go into a winter in depth with me, but to more so do an open session for this group, meaning to be open to then ancestral guides stepping in, as well as there might also be some energetic workings to do. Clearing of some cords, untying of some binds this month between these things. So it's like they're like, so you'll get like these beautiful gifts, these beautiful openings of awareness, and actualizing them, like really feeling like how they kind of like shift your personage, and how you show up in the world. And then just know that those paces and places and times between are there for some energetic work to support you for the next one. And so it's like, it also, there will be something about going like, normally when we have to wait between kind of like gifts or successes in life, we speak of a time of waiting, this waiting period. But they're like, but that waiting period is very active for you. That waiting, when you know that you are patiently waiting, it's like, what can you actually do in life? There is a like that patience, that patience processed and practiced is also going to be asking you to do many different things within your life during in between those awarenesses that step in, because with fire energy, awarenesses can come quite swiftly. And that's why I keep on getting like light bulbs going off, or like big aha moments. Oh my gosh, I see this now. Oh my goodness, I comprehend this now. And it literally was unclear like a minute before, right? Like back to these literal exact timings. So it's like, know that in that pattern of this winter, they're like, just now that you know that that's going to be the like the overall pattern of winter, is that then you can process those times that are just asking you to kind of wait or be patient, to be more proactive in doing the things you need to do, the energy care, the mental stuff. I just keep getting, there's lots of stuff that needs to be snipped and shifted and unraveled and unwound and unbound. Uh, and but these are good, effective shadow workings that will assist you by the time this process is complete, to step forwards in a very assured way. Even though it will be like a new way of walking, a new way of navigating, you will feel very assured that you can, within this form, from this alchemical process that is gifted to you this winter, to really step forward and kind of like share your song after within the next season. Big things to plan for this year ahead, big plan things to plan for this year ahead. So even connecting, you might even want to look into a whole year ahead reading, if you have the strength, because then it can kind of show you further forecast. Like for people, like I'm a seer, so like I always do a year ahead, because in that way, like the things that I see or tap into even like 8, 9 months later, I can then process and let the fears or the uncertainties around that to process in the shadow workings in the cycles prior, right? Like in the moon cycles prior. So it allows me then to always kind of like feel that I am steady and assured and capable of moving into the cycles ahead. So that also might be something you wish to look into to just kind of like really support this season, because the season will feel like lots of not just like ups and downs like movements. It's that there's going to be times when you feel like you're flowing with the aha. You're just like, wee, yes, I'm understanding everything, wahoo, I'm swimming. And then another time when you're like, oh, okay, now I need to actually spin the wheel myself. I need to do some work. I need to do some work. I need to apply what I have learned or what I have become aware of into reality, into my actual practices. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, lots to siphon around your understanding of will, desire, as we shared, of course, the shadows of control, the shadows of that might have shown up, or that in your life, or that you've even observed within like society, or like the broader view, right? The broader perspective of things, and to sift through that, and the sifting through this is a lot of mental work and swift work to be done amidst the murkiness of what is being revealed in your emotional state and your emotional body, as there is a lot of transformative like alchemy that is occurring, literally shifting form. I understand now why this is like shapeshifter, transform, unveil, right? There is multiple unveilings almost, right? Those multiple unboxings, and this is going to be a deeply transformative season for you. You might even, there's like document parts of it, because I understand why they're like write things down, because it's like document parts of it, so that when you complete the season, so to speak, and move into the next, that you can actually then see the road that you traveled and be like, ah, okay, I did that. And to then really allow this new song, this new voice, this new awareness to almost like sprinkle in towards what will be growing and showcasing themselves in the fruition of the spring. Yeah. Acknowledging the feeling of some of the tower moments that you might have felt to get you to this point in some of these times of review, to acknowledge your perseverance, your strength, and your fortitude to carry on and to carry forwards with your unique views of the world, the ways that you digest and process information. There is something so unique and beautiful in how you see the world that will, over at time, you will feel more confident and comfortable in sharing that beyond potentially the borders, not even beyond the borders, but beyond like the ways that you have boxed in your interactions with the world. Yeah, so much shift. Like literally, like one day you could be like, all is not, all is terrible. And then the next day, like a net, like they're like literally in these very specific times and cycles. Like the next day at that exact time, you could be literally feeling the exact opposite and be like, oh my gosh, there's so much possibility. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. So be really cognizant of that. So not to like drag yourself further into the dregs than you need to, or to feel that you need to like make the shadow workings more arduous than they need to be. There is the blazing heat of the sun in support of you this season, and that sun will continue to return, guaranteed. and grieve what you need to around this transformation and this shift. Some of you might feel like, oh my gosh, I've done 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 of me. There's more reveals, there's more metamorphosis. And I'm getting even like the path, the migratory path of the butterfly, of like how, right? Like we know that in 1 year, how many generations of butterflies does it take to actually do that migrational path? There are multiple generations that occur for them to return every year to our hemisphere and to go, to the southern hemisphere. Like that whole migratory travel is multiple generations tag teaming this annual process. And so there's something in that of like acknowledging there might have been multiple shifts and multiple metamorphoses, multiple feelings like generations or, point oh versions of you in this process. And that is okay, that you will still take that migratory route. That route is guaranteed and affirmed. So to have faith in the process, witness, take time in those spaces between both and all of the rises of revelation and the rises of and like the depths of contemplation. Lots of kind of like lifting yourself up, witness your beauty, the shifts in you each day. Some of you might even be like taking photos of you each month or each moon cycle so that you can literally see the shifts, the physical literal shifts that this work, this season will do in supporting these transformations in. And whatever may have been destroyed in this process or laid to rest or that has decomposed, that you have composted, like sure, you may grieve at some of those things that have had to be laid to rest or that have felt like they've been cut or severed in this process, but to trust that new things and new life will grow. New hopes, new assuredness and certainties forwards. Good walks into the next and the rest of the year ahead. Deep gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. These beautiful, intuitive, insightful beings that have stepped in for group 3's connection. May this look into your winter ahead serve you, and trust that since this is a general reading, take what you may from this message that feels relevant to you. And if some that you wish to leave, trust that they may be picked up. Leave them here so that they may be picked up and taken by someone else. Deep gratitude. Thank you. Take care. All right. All right. Welcoming group 4. Group 4. Woo, I have explored and traversed some winters with these groups, and I anticipate this last group reading with the indicator card of Animal Guardian. Trust your instincts. Oh, my earth keepers, my caregivers, deep, deep hello, hello, and welcome. Welcoming you and all of your animal spirits to this reading today on what is up ahead for this winter. Winter at a glance. I will also be pulling 2 cards to support this reading from the Pure Magic Oracle deck, and then going ahead with 4 cards from the Tarot del Fuego to support this look into, for group 4, the winter season ahead. What can we share? Whew. Okay, well, you're getting, are these 3? Yeah, okay. Everyone else got 2, but as you saw, they literally flew out, and I checked in. They're like, not to reshuffle. These cards share different elements that can support you in the process ahead. Ooh, and you're getting it all. You're getting the whole earth. No wonder I was saying welcome earth keepers and caregivers of the earth, guardians of how we traverse these realms. Wow. Earth, air, and water all show up, which is interesting. So I'm curious where the fire is, right? Like where the element that is not coming in is in this reading. For you are getting number 9, Vervin Everlasting. This is an earth element card. Okay. And as you see, the keywords are spellbound, soul alignment, release, protection. Oh, wow. In the air element, songbirds, number 11. And as you saw in the words, hex breaker, sound healing, final goodbye, release, 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 release. And with the water, drawing down the moon. Divine feminine source, channel, stillness. Much has been etched into this year. Much was carved into this year that we are closing, this year 2025. It's almost like I had to take a look, and then funnily enough, I take a look at the time, and it's 2:25 p.m. as I said that with Eastern time. There's something of synchronicities that might kind of like that show up in your life like that. Enjoy them, but because there has been much touched into this much etched into and agreed upon within this year, in the different, like in the many months that you have passed through, that you can look at. And very clearly, this is very different than some of the other messages for the other groups, of that there's a clarity of and capacity of seeing these learning curves that occurred this year for you, like very easy for you to articulate them and to review. So a year in review for you is quite easeful, and you may have actually already done some of that. And definitely the review or contemplative nature as you step into this winter time is asking for lots of gentle care, like steeping teas, adding pretty herbs and flowers into your baths, doing gentle cleanses. Everything is like those last little, like, okay, I'm allowing the last things of the fall to fall. I'm allowing the last things of the autumn period to soften and wash off, and to acknowledge that in this cleansing time that I'm stepping into, that it will become very clear, all the importance of this year. This year was a very important year in just really understanding more of your design, more of like what you are designed to do, be, breathe, live, lots of refining and becoming further aware of all the things that are so held dear for you, that may have been protected from you in other years, or like were a little left uncertain. So there's a moment almost in like just taking some deep breaths and acknowledging, like, well done you. There was a lot that you moved through, which has given you a new perception of you in this whole thing. Okay. And this is even sorry, this is all coming through from you all prior to even opening into what is ahead for winter. So for group 4, what can the tarot share for group 4 for the winter ahead? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Mm. Ooh, I love these images of this tarot card as a seer. They are just so like they speak so swiftly to me and my ancestral team. So deep gratitude to Tarot del Fuego. First card, Knight of Wands. Yeah, established some things this year. Strengthened your awareness of like the treasures that you carry in, strengthened your understanding of like you in congruence and harmony with like life. I don't know how else to say this. Like you're understanding further things of the cycles of life and the globe, like the larger movements of things, the larger patterns of movement on these planes, and how your gentle pitter patter of your feet support those movements and rhythms. You're very much in tandem with and with what is like the movements of life. You're in sync. uh, good work with this. There has been lots of depths of clarity. There is an ask for you. For some of you, you might wish to sit and write some of these things and awarenesses down, even if you just share them as like a little post somewhere, you know. But there is some wisdom and insights, nuggets that you carry that are wishing to be expressed and shared out. Your awarenesses of larger cycles of things, a comprehension of like how different things that might feel so different are uniquely connected and innately support each other. There's this understanding of how things support each other, be it like even this awareness, and I keep getting from this card like this awareness of that souls leave these planes and then and new life grows. It's like there's this thing of like these transitions of like of life and death and those cycles that have assured themselves in the time prior that you are stepping into the season with this deeper awareness of like wow. I'm like, whoo, good job, you. Like, so cool to meet such a, like, someone who is in connection with their body and the earth in such a intrinsic and yum way. And there is something about vibration, sound, music is it can be very powerful, but there's like even more than just that. Like your awareness that um, something has shifted in your sound this year. That it's like we all have a sound that moves through all these different words and things that we form out of our mouths to express, but there's something in the actual like rhythm and tone, and like the tone of your voice that is shifted, that is assured, that like showcases the strength and affirmative nature of trust in things and awarenesses that have been gleaned this year. Some of you may also be channels or connect to like sound healing work, the subtle realms. You are there's something also to affirm that, like, yes, the things that you are naturally like drawn to are interesting. The things that you're naturally drawn to, some of them might have come to an end this year. the things that might have naturally gotten you so inspired the years before, or like had such great strength of purpose in your life in seasons and cycles before, have like lost their essence or their flavor to you in this process as well. So in this sured footing, there is some goodbyes, but these are like beloved goodbyes, cherished goodbyes, as you would the most beloved person that may have passed on as well. Some of you may have actually also experienced some passings on of beloved people in your life this year that has almost like messed with your footing and your assured footing on things during those times. And this is a time now that is ripe. They're sharing like there's a ripeness to this time prior to stepping into your winter season. There's a ripeness in really, really like sharing deep love, gratitude, honor, care, gifts to commemorate and acknowledge these things that have released from your life that may have and not just the people, but this is even for, as I shared, like those things that you that might not hold the same glimmer that they did in years prior to you. It's almost like you're looking at and you're going, wow, like I remember when like my life was like that thing in my life was so important. Like it was like my biggest blazing star of passion, my biggest guiding light, but now it just doesn't feel that way anymore. And so there's also then in this beloved kind of burial and final release work of some of these things that have lost their patina, lost their shine, is just like going, okay, now I can give them and release them forth. In this release, there's like almost like gift, a giving, to realize I'm giving this and paying this forward to the earth so that it can be not just repurposed and composted, but also almost like regifted, like gifted elsewhere to those that actually might see the shine and the beauty in it, that it no longer carries. No, it's like just because it doesn't hold that same relevance to you anymore, that many can still like see the beauty in them as well. And so by you kind of gifting and sharing them out, to the earth, and to, it's like literally earth, air, water, take your pick on how you wish to release. Do you want to do a burial? Do you want to do a release of something into the river and watch it move? Do you wish to just release it from your mouth and sing and you know what I mean, and speak sacred words and give it that strength of commemoration? But there's a moment like you need take some time to commemorate the things that have released this year, that have shifted, and that have assured, like that have helped you actually find the assured step and certainty in your carriage now and forwards, and let yourself share some love to them, like the like the pregnant person, like the one that is carrying something ripe of new life within them, that is generating and growing. There's something of like this almost being then like this pregnancy period for you, of letting then, after those commemorations of the things that might not hold the same value to you, to really nurture the things that do still feel valuable, that feel nurturing to you. That's like a good little kind of thing. Still nurtures, what still feels wondrous and magnificent and beautiful and magical to you. And this is the time to like hold those dear to you. And it's like, just like how I'm like, and it's neat because I actually haven't had a child myself in this life, but I'm getting this kind of like pregnant belly, and you kind of just like speaking sweetness to those things that are growing in you. this season. Yes, this is a ripe time, just like almost like it'll be neat if some of you are actually experiencing pregnancy. How beautiful to have a literal experience of that. But this is a ripe time to trust what you can gift and give outwards and let go, and then trust that what you are growing in is most sacred, most special, most like will just light you up in so many different ways. It will bring you so many joys and so much like fruit of and delight from this period. And this period is definitely, it's a different, because sometimes that incubation period is for ourselves, but this is an incubation period for the thing that you are growing, right? And nurturing. So tap into, and I said earth keepers, caregivers, like think of like, yes, like how you care for things around you, the love that you're sharing to all these beings around you. It's like you're sharing now, like focus on like like this trimester, right? I'm literally feeling of this winter as like a trimester to support the fertility and the growth of what that little those little nuggets that are left that still have shine and sparkle to them, and you're tending to that. This is like is it a final trimester? Close to it. Birth may be, they're like dependent, because this is a group reading, kind of like the when this new thing gets born will kind of vary for some of you on months and timings. You're not as which is neat, because this was like the in this one there's not some exact timings in as in some other groups. This one is like, this is just like a focus in on that process of how would you care for your body if you were carrying something new, right? If you're carrying something that you're cherished and that you're growing within you, how would you tend to yourself? Right. And like I'm getting like, like the vitamins, like the shifts maybe in diet, the not that too many shifts in diet, but like just like really ensuring that you're doing foods that support your health and well-being, so that you can carry this season. For there will be some sweet connections too to look into this season and to enjoy this season. There will be lots of good wishes and hugs and connections with of laughter and connections to people. So again, there's this thing of like, even if people may have left you this year, as well as parts of like even like the things that you cherished and held dear, that you're ready to release, like there's has been a lot of release this year, that there's something of like, really this has established some very a strong kind of like uh, group of connections around you that can really uplift and support you in the depths and in the realms of your heart. Something that feels very solid in these connections. So embrace these connections that fill you up so much that you just wish to, again, I just keep getting like these singing to the rafters, raising your voice in song and sound and celebration. Uh, Lots of just beloved connections. Enjoy the social time this winter, the socialness of it, and nurture those moments with your beloveds and your cherished people. Expand those connections, deepen those connections. That's just so much. Yummy cotton candy lovey feelings that I'm feeling from this. And so Knight of Cups is sharing this with, then the last one is a reversed Nine of Pentacles. And Nine of Pentacles, I know this is a very different showcase of it. I love how they bring up this, because Nine of Pentacles is usually is a very specific message. A lot of the nine cards do. Um, and in this, I get like when you see this reversed, you're going to be like, oh, there's another reversal of fortune coming up. There's another like thing that's going to be messing with my well being. And, but this is not just finances. This is like you have done this great refinement of what kind of like pushes you or like keeps you focused and motivated in life, as well as like now that you're in this deep period of just really nurturing support for your emotions, for your emotional well-being in life, your health, right? There's something about like pentacles being like the health, like the well-being in your life, like the practical things of mind well-being, emotional well-being, all of those needs. We think that we just need financial security, and you're like, well, on top of that, I've discovered this year that I need these things cared for within my mind. Like I need these things to support my mental well-being. I need these things to support my emotional well-being. I need these things to support, my physical well-being. Oh my gosh, my health is so much. There's such focus on health. But like health is a broader thing than just physical, mental, emotional health, physical, mental, emotional health. Um, Okay, and sorry, I'm getting like literally like there's some strong guides that are here to support this. There's some specifics in this card that I can't share in a general group reading. So, and I'm getting, because some of those things have been protected. Some of those things are protected and for your ears and eyes only. Um, so there's almost like a moment of my team going like, apologies for being a little general here, but there's a lot of specific outcomes that are pertaining to multiple people in this group, and they're like not to share them all because that's almost taking away from this like ripe and fertile period to trust kind of like where your heart and your emotional kind of like well-being are met and maintained and established and supported and safe and protected, and to make active choices to kind of like involve yourself in those spaces and places and with those people this season, so that then it will kind of feed and nurture so many different parts of you. There's going to be a much larger awareness and understanding in this process of just like needs, not just physical, but emotional and mental, as well as, of course, then we bring, well, spiritual, but like the spiritual, mental, emotional, all these different ways that we categorize our needs. Um, there's almost like a softening of the divisions, a softening of those categories, and realizing like, wait, I am a being that is physical. I feel, I think, I carry spirit, I carry like hope, I carry faith, I carry dreams. So it's like becoming in this ripening process this winter, there is a becoming fuller and wholer, like more cognizant and aware of your whole you, and how all these different parts of you interplay and weave together in a way that can be more productive, but as like helpful forwards, one that feels a bit more less arduous in nature and less confusing in nature. Hmm. This word with that's coming up too with the air of hexbreaker, I was just nudged to address that a little. um many many things that we think are hexes or curses that might have been established in our lineage and then that we carry forward, they're sharing is almost like we're simply agreements made. We're made like agreements made from previous ancestors or previous times on these life paths. And a lot of these kind of things that feel like curses or difficulty, that you've been kind of like looking at within this year and rectifying and clarifying and doing all this stuff with, um, it's not like that they you kind of discover that some of these things that felt like hexes or curses or things that have stymied your growth and momentum in life, that unbeknownst to you, like you're like this wasn't even my doing, and they did this in my ancestry, and so now I'm paying the price. And it's like, but just can you accept that they were making the best decision that they could in these agreements, and a lot of them carry remorse and regret. And so there is something in like these final weeks of like a I think December, we're December 10th. It's like these final times in this month are to kind of like make almost like not amends, but like make peace with some of the decisions ancestors have made prior. I know this is a very interesting message. Even for me, I'm kind of trying to decipher it, but it's like making peace with some of the decisions of how ancestors moved prior that may have actually slowed down your momentum, almost forgiving them for that. And that will support you to lay to rest some of these like final things that need to go within this ripe time up ahead. For there's something of like January, February, like those months for this group that feel that you're just going to be like there's going to be this contented like growing phase of connection to what's growing, that you have to honor like that prior to that ripe, like the time is ripe also now to do those final goodbyes, those final ceremonies of like forgiving the trials and tribulations, the ways that you may have supported orchestrating them within your life, and as well as the ways that even ancestors supported orchestrating some of these things, and kind of like that felt like they were out of your hands. Lots of being a request to kind of make peace with the way things have turned and the way things have turned out, and to remember that this like from even the chaos or the dregs and the caca, that there is now this wondrous seed that you really know you and trust you carry. Oh, there's still a little doubt in that trust. Okay, so maybe in these final goodbyes you can really refine that trust and affirm that trust in what you carry and what you will be committing to care for your well-being on all aspects, as well as this thing that you will be birthing forwards into the seasons ahead. Yeah. There will be a time when you feel the fruition of all this depths of work. But for now, really like tend to yourself like a pregnant person, and to also really like go, I'm going to actively just like book those times with friends, book those teas, book those moments of just joy and having a nice meal with someone. That's going to really support and nurture some of these like the last dregs to release, to almost like affirm that what you have established in the present, in the current, in mhm, in this gestation period that this winter is. Feeling a bit more complete in what I've shared for group 4, just checking in to see, are there any last messages for group 4? Yeah, many transformations have occurred prior within your life, many metamorphoses, many times when you have felt from the caterpillar, there has become a butterfly, and wear those with pride. Know that it's not like we have to go through this process only once in our lives, and right, then have this big like awareness and rebirth. Like the trials that brought you to those changes in your life prior, wear them with pride, adorn yourself with the stories that have brought you to this point. Share those stories. Be gentle to yourself. I'm getting almost like this feeling of like a Bambi, right? Like tend to the baby, tend to the baby, and remember, just like even if you haven't been shown at times the richness and fullness of love of a like a caregiver that is so committed to the well-being and care for their young, to practice those steps and nurture you. So a bit of almost like I like this type of reparenting in this process, like and sharing with yourself what may not have been shared even by those that have kind of stepped or away in your life, passed on, or but they've all kind of they're all have supported you in getting to this point now. um yes, yes, yeah, making some good peace in this process, and to trust that what you are growing will become more true, like as the months progress, like just like how when as a baby grows, right, you'll start to feel their kicks, you'll start to feel like movements, right, in in you, that will be like, oh right, that life that I'm growing in, it's real. So there is something like in winter you will start to feel and really like become aware of what you're growing and start to deepen that connection and relationship to what you're growing um, in the gestation and within you, and you'll have a much sweeter experience with that, just like how I keep getting of how like um a caregiver would speak to their belly, you know what I mean, like or and rub their belly and be in connection with the thing that's growing and showing life even prior to it being birthed and being born. So that is like this is the prior to, this is the final trimester, or one of the last trimesters. I don't, because yeah, the birth is a little bit specific for some of you. And so if you're looking forward to certain timings of things in this thing that you are gestating, birthing, and maybe support for the releasing, know that of course you're welcome to step in for a more personalized reading. You can check out my services on josih.com, josih.com. Link is, of course, somewhere on this site too, or in the captions. Uh, Definitely to look into potentially year ahead or an open session to support for further connection to ancestral awareness with this. But yes, this is a very you're like a very pivotal time. This is a very sacred season for you, and to step into it in that awareness, it will hold one wondrous wealth of love and care, and acceptance. Whew, I'm just feeling it all now for you all. So understand, just trust that work is moving you on the path. Trust the path, trust the path, trust the path, trust the path. And that the releases that are being asked, and this continual going, like it's time to let go, it's time to let go, release, 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 this kind of emphasis in these cards for that process is not sharing that in that release, then you're going to feel empty. In that release, you are then going to feel full, pregnant, ripe, and ready to gestate and grow this new fullness, this new wholeness of sensation in you. So, many blessings to this season up ahead for you all, and much love and care to be shared. for these months ahead. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Group 4, for tuning in today. May you take what you may from this general group reading and trust that what you leave, when you leave the rest, you leave it for someone else to collect. So may someone else pick up what you may have left. Much, much care. And until next time, see you soon. Josie out.